the coronavirus and multifamily. Let's talk about it. Ooh, well, I said coronavirus. Am I allowed to say, look, YouTube, if you hear me right now, I'm just saying the word. I don't mean any harm. Please don't take the video down. I don't want no problems. I don't want to get my video taken down. I just said the word. But anyways, let's talk about coronavirus, whatever, and its effect on multifamily. So the real problem that has happened has been with evictions, right? So in multifamily properties, you're doing your evaluation, you're trying to go find your next deal. The biggest impact that the virus has had on people is their ability to perform evictions on time. And so if you're going through and you're analyzing deals now you've got to be a little bit more smarter. You got to be a little bit more clever, detail oriented in your evaluation of a potential property, because if you're not, you're going to look over some things that could potentially go bad. So let's go ahead and get into this. When you are looking to evaluate a property, you're going to ask for the rent roll, T12, offer memorandum. You've probably heard me say those things several times. If you haven't, go back and look at some of my previous videos where I will explain what those things are. But for the purposes of this video, those aren't enough, right? So this only comes into play after you got a deal under contract. So you always buy a deal just off of those three things that I mentioned: rent roll, T12, offer memorandum. That's going to allow you to have enough information to go out there and make your offer. But let's say you've got the deal under contract and now you're worried about how the coronavirus is coming into play with this potential property. So what ends up happening is because a landlord who is owning their multifamily property can't do evictions, they sit there. And now you have to understand how accounting works. So in accounting, they have the accrual-based method, which is honestly something I don't completely understand, but I understand it enough to know what it does. And it is a method by which they don't report negative income on a property. So what happens is a tenant owes, let's call it $1,000 in monthly rent. That tenant will show up on a accrual-based accounting report as having paid $1,000, even if they didn't pay. So what happens is, on the accrual-based look of the property, it seems like everybody's paying and you're only seeing the vacant tenants there, but it actually didn't come into the bank account of the property because that tenant didn't pay. So what you have to look for is what we call the age receivables report. And you want to be asking for age receivables because that is the process by which a company is going to track those people who haven't paid. So tenants like this will show up on the rent roll. You'll see their name there. You'll see what their potential rent is. So the rent roll is going to say, all right, you've got tenant in unit 105 and they pay this amount every month, and that looks good. And then you'll see the T12, and the T12 may actually have that tenant being showed as paid. And the reason for this is because they don't account for their lack of payment until something happens, right? So the tenant owes $1,000, but they don't actually come in and account for them having not paid that $1,000 until the tenant agrees to move out or the tenant has gotten evicted. But if, because whatever circumstances, there's an eviction moratorium, they can't do the eviction, then they will just stay there on the reports looking as if they paid. And that's where you come in watching the video like this and say, hey, give me those age receivables reports. I want to see how you're tracking the tenants who haven't paid. When you look at that, that's going to give you a better picture of who has paid and who has not paid. So you'll see on this report tenants that are 30 days behind and how much. You'll see tenants that are 60 days behind, 90 days behind, and how much. And you want to look at that and combine it with your other underwriting materials to say, okay, this is a property that I should maybe avoid. Maybe I need to readjust some of my assumptions because there's so many people here that aren't paying. Now, this may all go away. It depends on what city you're in, what state you're in, how those governing officials are running business there. But you're going to have to fall in line, and seeing that age receivables report is going to allow you to see what's currently happening with that, so you can use it for your future projections as you go forward with doing deals in that market. So hopefully you found this helpful. Don't get caught burnt. Don't go in there with the assumption that everything is going well when it's really not. Get that age receivables report, look at it, and then go ahead and make your adjustments as necessary. Hopefully you found this video helpful, and hopefully it didn't get taken down, because I don't know why they taking some of these videos down, but they just are if you say certain things. So anyways, I will continue to come here with videos that you find useful and helpful, helping you along your multifamily journey. So if that was helpful, give a like. If you have a question about something I said, if it wasn't clear, there were some things that were a little bit advanced in the video, but I try to straighten them out. But drop a comment below. I'll hop in there and try to provide any clarity that I can. And I will see you in the next video. Take care.